Come on, 2, 3.
Well, good morning. Welcome back to the Broadcast Retirement Network. I'm Jeff Snyder. This is BRN AM for Friday, May 6th, 2022. And our top story today, the evolution of gaming. Joining me now to discuss this and a lot more is Casey Whiting from the Evolution of Gaming LLC. Casey, great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us on the program this morning.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
Okay, we were joking beforehand. We did a show a couple weeks ago, and we actually talked about the evolution of gaming. And this is before you and I even connected. I grew up with the Atari 2600, then moved to the Sega NES, and then finally the Nintendo NES, and then to the Sega Genesis. So I'm a dinosaur when it comes to gaming. But you at the team at Evolution of Gaming, you guys have taken this thing to the next level. What is the evolution of gaming, and how do you see gaming evolving?
Well, as you mentioned, games have changed a lot over the decades. We started with sticks and stones and came to board games and came to video games. And each evolution of gaming has had monumental changes with computer games and video games. It used to be that you had to buy the game, buy the CD or buy the disc and take it home and you could play it. And then eventually it evolved into some guys who got a genius idea. Let's give these games away for free. And then let's sell things inside the games to the players. So that's kind of where we sit now. The evolution of gaming, our company, we propose to bring monetization of gameplay. In other words, we want the average gamer to actually be able to make money when they're playing games. We're going to do that through competitions within a gaming platform that we're about to launch.
Let's talk about the blockchain. And our audience is very familiar with blockchain. It's the basis for cryptocurrency. But you've also evolved to using the blockchain in Evolution of Gaming.
Correct. So we use the blockchain in a couple of different ways. For one, to ensure that we don't find ourselves in a position of being a casino or a gambling venue, we want to be very careful about providing competitions that are skill-based. This is not something of luck or chance. And because we want this to be a very secure environment, we're actually using multiple smart contracts which operate various pieces and elements of our project. For example, a user can come in and purchase Evolve, which is our cryptocurrency. That is what you use in order to enter competitions and play in these competitions. That's recorded in blockchain. We have a referral system in our platform where users can refer their users and be given some bonuses. Those are also recorded on the blockchain. As the users come into our system and enter with the fee of Evolve, that's recorded on the blockchain, as well as every competition is statistically recorded so that there's a system that doesn't require trust in me as a CEO or me as the main guy running the system, that every person who comes in, we can show the blockchain record that everything that happens with every customer and user in our system is verifiable and auditable, which is really great that it takes trust on an individual level out of the equation, which of course is the case with most blockchain applications.
Yeah, I completely follow what you're saying, and before you mentioned it was skill based, and I have to confess, I was an Atari 2600 user, and anything over 2, 3, 4 buttons, I'm not that good at, Casey. How do I align, or how does the Evolution of Gaming align someone like myself, who I'm pretty smart, I got good dexterity, I was pretty good on Space Invaders, but how does it align me with someone of the same skill so I don't get overmatched and I'm automatically ranked 1 million?
Yeah, I agree. And you and I are on the same page there. I am also someone who can play some games, but I joke with my developers, Super Mario Brothers was probably the last game I played that I was any good at. So we've given a lot of thought and consideration to this point. Cheating is a big deal and fairness is a big deal. Because we do not control matches, we cannot control what happens inside the games. But in the overall element of our competitions, we have an algorithm set up to match players of similar skill level against other players at the same skill level. This ensures effectively what happens is as players come in and start to fill our system here very soon, when you win, we immediately start to rank you up in our system. This will allow for the pro level players who will certainly be attracted to us to very quickly rise up through the ranks. They can't cheat this process, because if they do, you've got to pay money to cheat our system. So we're actually counting on that people and their interest, their ambition or their greed to make money will keep them from having a really good guy come against you and I in a competition and just constantly blow us out of the water. We know there are elements out there of esports for professional level gamers, but there is nothing so far that really addresses the issue of guys like us who are really not good. You and I need to be pitted against each other for it to be fair, and we want to give the world of gamers, all of them, a fair chance to come in and play. So that matchmaking system is there, and that will protect the little guys so they can play against little guys, and the big guys can play against big guys.
I like that. I'm actually maybe successful, although you would probably clearly beat me. I did not win Super Mario Brothers, so Space Invaders I could do pretty well, in the Atari level Pac-Man. Casey, I need to take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more about the evolution of gaming. You're going to want to stay tuned right here on BRN AM. Imagine a new television network that will make you richer, healthier, and in control of your financial future. This network is for the policewoman in Nashville, Tennessee, the baker in Dubuque, Iowa, the teacher in Lexington, Kentucky. We want to make the idea of savings and retirement culturally relevant. But what do you see as a defining issue of the midterms, especially for the smaller businesses? I mean, they are the lifeblood of the American economy. Featuring exclusive interviews, current affairs, and docuseries. 33 years old, you retired early.
The philosophy is money only matters if it helps you live a life that you love.
But you got to start thinking about retirement as soon as you get in.
The Broadcast Retirement Network will drive very high engagement with premium partnerships. So this isn't retirement and savings for your parents or grandparents. This is for all Americans. And we're going to change the way you think about money. Welcome to the next frontier of retirement and savings. This is BRN, the Broadcast Retirement Network.
Are you stuck with a low credit score? A credit report and score that's causing you to be denied credit or pay higher interest rates than others for the same things? Then do what Terrence did and call Credit Repaired for your free credit evaluation to help restore your credit.
I started thinking about buying a new house, and my score wasn't where I needed it to be. I called and spoke with one of the representatives, and we just had a good conversation, and I liked what he was saying.
Just one call for his free credit evaluation was all it took to start back on the track to repairing his credit.
I'm seeing the deletions and I'm getting the report, so I know something's being done. It does make a difference to me.
All it takes is one call to get started.
Credit Repair has given me a second chance to have a better credit score.
Don't let a low credit score hold you back another day. Do what Terrence did and make the call for your free credit evaluation.
Call 800-819-4152. That's 800-819-4152. Again, 800-819-4152.
Welcome back. We're talking this morning to Casey Whiting of the Evolution of Gaming LLC. Casey, thanks so much for staying with us this morning.
Oh, you're welcome.
This is absolutely fascinating. And let me start off this segment by asking you, who is the target audience? When you look at gamers today, are they mature, like you and I? Are they young, like 16, 17, 18, maybe even younger. What's the demo for the evolution of gaming?
Well, I can kind of answer that in a couple of different parts. First of all, in terms of age, we know that the greatest demographic age is between about 16 and 25. So there's roughly about a 10-year age area there that really fills with most of the gamers. However, because someone in our generation, say in their mid 40s, we had video games, and the older demographic above the 40s have mobile games, which surprisingly, even up into 60s and 70-year-olds, are playing a lot of games on their mobile devices. So we know our target is, of course, anybody who comes to our system has to have a driver's license in order to go through the Know Your Customer KYC verification. So we want people's identification. It's a very critical part of our system to be sure that we're safe and secure. We don't have any bad actors in our system. Within those demographics, targeting the younger demographic, I would say, in that first age group, there's also a separate demographic calculation of how many are mobile gamers versus how many are PC or Mac or computer console, whether they're playing the Nintendo or the PlayStation. So we're originally coming out with this product just for the PC, but we will very soon bring that out into the mobile market and have these competitions accessible within somebody's mobile phone. The reason for this is that statistically, 90% of all gamers on the planet are mobile gamers. And interestingly enough, 90% of all gamers are also in China. So we're very anxious to not just be global, but to provide a mobile platform and to make sure we provide that in Chinese so that we can really hit the broadest demographic possible.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. I want to go back to something you talked about in the first segment, and it got me thinking, and that was buying things inside the game. And it made me think about what we know as the Metaverse, and that is a huge area where you see brands going in and buying real estate, for lack of a better term. Is what you're describing with buying within the game, is that similar to how we would describe the Metaverse, or is it different?
Yeah, I think it is. And our product is 100% future-proof in terms of Metaverse. What we offer is not something that is a competing product to the game developers whose game titles we're providing competitions in, nor is it anything but complementary to the Metaverse, because what we're doing is admittedly facilitating a way for gamers to spend more time in front of their screens. And that's perhaps not the best thing, but we are at least bringing an economic value to the world that all of these kids and young adults and adults who are sitting for hours a day playing on video games will have the opportunity to come to our system and monetize that. So, perhaps they can get out of the basement, or mom and dad can charge them rent now because we're bringing an economic element into the picture here.
I like that idea. I'm sure there are a lot of parents out there who say, all right, I'm with you on that, Casey. Last question. Let's talk about non-fungible tokens. And this is something that we covered on the network several months ago. I know one of the most famous cases was the first tweet, I think, sold for millions of dollars, if I'm not mistaken. And also Tom Brady's, what was at the time his last touchdown throw, that football sold for millions of dollars. I think it's devalued considerably because obviously he's coming back. But how about the use of non-fungible tokens in your world?
So our choice to include some NFTs is on the basis that we do want to appeal to a very broad demographic. We've got potentially most of the gamers on planet Earth who could, at some point when we have the titles that they love, come in and monetize their gaming. But what about people who like NFTs who are not gamers? And the NFT crowd is a very hot crowd right now. I know things are going very viral in the NFT space. So what we've done, in concert with the concept of our name, the evolution of gaming, is we've actually acquired a French artist who is exceptionally talented. And we have created, at this point, we have he's given me about 1,000 unique images of game characters. So we've taken game characters. So imagine if we took a character that looked like he'd come out of your favorite video game, We've created that character, and then with the evolution of gaming, we're doing the evolution of game character art, and we have built that in a 2022 very lifelike version character in a 3-dimensional render. Then we have rewound that, so we actually have 1970s version that looks like Atari. We have the 1980s version that looks like a Nintendo character, the 1990s version, the 2000s version, and then the 2020s version. So we'll introduce those in really just as a means to bring a bigger crowd into our platform and support. So we've got crypto enthusiasts who come in just for the crypto. We've got the NFT enthusiasts who come into the platform, and then of course the gamers who come in. So that is going to give us a lot of strength in our user base to keep our project constantly growing.
It sounds amazing. Casey, I wish I was really good at video games. Maybe I should. You guys don't game Scrabble, do you?
Well, it's interesting you say that, and I'll put a teaser out there, but we generally don't talk about our way out in the future plans, but we do have in our vault of ideas that we can do a classic version of this where we would then host matches of games, probably not down to checkers and chess, but certainly some of these 1970s and 80s games that are freeware. We would actually do a classic version of Evolve, and you and I could go in and play on some of those 1970s games as well and monetize them in a similar fashion.
Well, count me in for Shoots and Ladders. Casey Whiting, always a pleasure chatting with you. Thanks so much for joining us, and I look forward to having you back on the program again very soon.
Thanks so much. Glad to be here.
And that wraps up this episode of BRN AM. Have a topic of interest, somebody you think we should talk to, drop us a line. And don't forget, for all the latest curated news in lifestyle, wellness, finance, tech, so much more, all in one place, check out today's edition of our daily newsletter, The Morning Pulse. Want to search our archives and see our latest content? Well, check out our website and our streaming partners like Amazon, Roku, Samsung. There's over 100 to choose from. We're back again tomorrow for BRN Weekly. We'll be taking a look, at our best segments for the week. You're not going to want to miss it. Until then, I'm Jeff Snyder. Stay safe, keep on saving, and don't forget, roll with the changes. Now is your opportunity to co-create content around any topic on the first lifestyle and wellness network. Reach a global audience through our platform and co-own exclusive branded content. All of our programs are available on demand and also as audio-only podcasts, so you can take us on the go. Broadcast Retirement Network, available anytime, anywhere, and on any device.
Are you being audited and do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate your tax bill and reduce your stress. The IRS can freeze your assets and seize your bank accounts, but you can stop these IRS actions. The Tax Doctor will work with you using our years of experience to represent your case to help you get the best resolution under the IRS guidelines. Help is here to deal with the IRS to reduce your stress. We've handled thousands of cases, so we know what we're doing. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, do not call the IRS alone. Call a Tax Doctor now for a tax emergency analysis.
Call 800-224-6439.